We're hanging out with a guy who hangs out at Hooters. Just kidding. His name's Chad Wooters, Wooters. We're going to be talking about, marketing concepts and using AI. AI is a big thing here at vastsolutionsgroup.com. So near and dear to his heart is also AI. So Chad, I'm glad you're here, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And you just brought up the oldest joke from high school ever I used to use. So they're like, Wooters. I'm like, yeah, it's like Hooters, just more fun, which is a lie, probably. So yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, so let's just jump into it. We're gonna get some short questions, short answers. We're gonna knock out what we can in 25 minutes. So why you and why AI? Nice job, by the way.
Thanks. For me, I'm a guy who's all about practical implementation. I've been working with businesses for 6 or 7 years now, helping them implement practical solutions into their practices and into their businesses. And what I found is that there's a difference between the knowledge that we acquire and the practical steps to actually go use that knowledge every day. And so with AI today, people get overwhelmed by the things that it can do. And we have two different camps of people most of the time. One is the camp who learns about it and doesn't do anything because they're petrified by the amount of information they have access to. And then the others are super lazy. And so we have a bit of an epidemic in marketing right now because you've got all these lazy folks who are creating really bad content that looks identical to other people's really bad content because AI did the work for them without much thought onto what it looks like. And so right now, AI is a tool. It's an opportunity that when you apply it the right way, you can scale your authentic voice. But most folks aren't applying it well. They're not taking the time to build this stuff out. And as a result, there's going to be a separation between low and high quality content, as you've seen, as you've implemented it, that it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And so I want to help folks be on the upside of that curve. I want to help folks really take advantage of the technology that's available today and really grow their brands and spend less time doing it, doing the work they're called to, not the work that has to be done, that we have to do to grow our businesses.
Yeah, there's no doubt that AI is just the way to go. And, if someone's not going to be put out of business because of AI, they're going to be put out of business with someone who's using AI either in their business or whatever the case is. There's just no doubt about that. So, okay, what's the number one let's say I'm an entrepreneur. Let's say I'm a real estate agent. We have a lot of real estate agents who are in our database who are going to be watching and hearing this. What's the one thing you would suggest to me as a real estate agent in implementing AI?
Yeah. It would be to, sorry, I went three thoughts came in my head at one point in time. It was like, just got stuck in the funnel.
I like it. We're trying to push you for hard answers.
Yeah. So I know in the real estate game, my wife, I've helped her build a business in the cosmetology sector, and there's a lot of parallels. You guys do a lot with the imagery. You guys do a lot with marketing on social media, email marketing, things of that nature. And AI is really your tool in creating that content when done well and scaling it. Mm-hmm. There are ways to take complex amounts of information that are really hard to read. Look up stats anytime. You can Google whatever you want around this. How much time and how big of text blocks are people, consumers, willing to read today? And basically, you're going to find the answer is not much or very little or none. And so one of my biggest tips is if you are really bad at writing or formatting text or kind of getting this stuff out there, take a voice recording on your phone. You can talk to text to AI in your phone and then have it break that up and format it for you in your voice. And that's the most important part. Don't let it change it and rewrite it to sound like every other AI social media post that's out there. Just have it break it into a format that's going to be easily read by people. That's the thing. You can create valuable content, but if it's not in a way that people will read it, it doesn't matter. So have AI do that logistical work for you, save you a lot of time, and it'll increase the impact of your marketing.
All right. So then how would someone get started? Because I think that's the biggest concern. People don't know how to get started. Well, what's one suggestion you'd give to someone who's, seeing all this AI stuff out there, but they're afraid? What's one little tool or one little thing that you would suggest in that regard?
It's the most practical step that you'll ever get about AI is go download the app on your phone or go log into ChatGPT for free, openai.com, and just do exactly what I just said. Use the keyboard on your computer or use the voice to type on your phone. Just download it. And here's the challenge. Every single time you have an idea, I wonder if AI does this. I wonder if AI can do that. You need to pull up in your phone right then and send the message And even if you can't look at it for another 2-3 hours, just send the message, because you'll start to find out that AI can do a lot more than what you think, and you'll start to figure out how to use it. So, but if you don't download the app, if you don't go sign up for a free account, you're never going to do it. So go do that.
I'm totally in agreement. There's a couple things to augment what you're saying, because I think you're right. I would say, join a LinkedIn or a Facebook group that's AI oriented. Number one. Number two, believe it or not, go to a physical meetup. I know it's crazy, a physical meetup that includes a bunch of AI people. There's more and more popping up. And I would even say take an AI class. There's more and more AI classes that are popping up. And then who knows, take a half an hour per day just dedicated to AI. I know it sounds crazy. People think that's not smart, but it really is smart, because that half an hour learning about AI will down the road probably turn into 15 minutes to 10 minutes, and it'll get you that much more efficient going forward. Yeah. Anyway, what you're saying is exactly right. All right. So let me throw out this then. Really, if you really think about it, what AI is just kind of automation. And I know that's one of your specialties. Tell me a little bit about, the automation that you believe in, or that, you've deployed in any of your tasks that you've done.
Yeah, I use AI to make my customers and my team feel very, very valuable. Writing emails is a nuisance for most of us. And most of the time, we can more quickly, more adequately, with the tonal expressions of video, share way more information than an email can do. And so what we do, actually, one of the things that I do for my team especially, and for clients or potential clients, is I'll make them a video on a platform called Loom, Loom. I'll make that video. Loom will transcribe that video for me, and then I'll give it to AI and have AI write the email.
Yeah.
And what this does is a couple pieces. It gives them a video, which makes them think, oh my goodness, how important am I that they took the time to make that video? Two, it gives them the tone, the expressions, and the relationship of seeing you face to face. And three, AI does the actual boring work for you, and you don't have to worry about all the formatting stuff that takes 5 to 10 minutes if you were to try and write it yourself anyways. So you get better quality content, better relationship building, and a faster workflow, and you've automated this process, and it only took a minute or two on a video that you can do from your phone or your computer.
Yeah, that's very smart. And what we're doing, actually, basically it's in line with that as far as automation. We're not really we're not active at all in social media, but what we're doing is we're going to get a little bit more active here in LinkedIn. So we have a proprietary software that's going to somehow go out and crawl a bunch of people in our space, if you will, who we want to attract to us. And it's going to bring it into our funnel. We have a software that we call Vastcast. That's basically a webinar funnel, and everything's automated. And there's going to be a follow-up kind of down the road with using AI. Everything's going to be tracked in an AI module that we utilize currently called Einstein. But automation is it's the way to go. There's no doubt about that, man. And if you're not doing it, you're going to be out of business,
Well, you can't keep up with the guys who are doing it. That's the problem. If you can't keep up with Joe Schmo, who's using AI to write emails and helping create content and doing that, because he's doing 3 people's worth of work in the time it takes one person to do work. And that's where we're going to see the separation you keep talking about of those. I think that if you're in the workforce today, and you're going to be in the workforce past 7 years from now, so I'd say 58 to 60 years old, if you're 50 to 60 and you're not going to be working in 10 years, then you probably don't have to worry about this. For the rest of us, we have to learn AI. This is going to be the new Microsoft Office. If we're not using AI, we're going to have to go find those entry-level jobs where we learn how to use the AI that took the other job. So that's the situation. One thing on that system you're talking about, what I encourage you folks, go look at social media and pay attention. As you use AI, you're going to also learn what AI sounds like. And you're going to see both posting and commenting that's completely AI generated.
Yeah.
And just don't fall into the trap of building content automatically like that. There's a lot you can do that's very easy. It's very simple to make sure that you can automate and scale without sounding like a robot. So just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, there's ways you can make it seem, like you said, you can make it seem like it's you, and really authenticate the software so it sounds like it's your writing, your speech, et cetera, et cetera. So, all right, so we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. First of all, by the way, I don't want to forget, how do people get a hold of you if they want to utilize your services as far as marketing goes, CMO, automation, et cetera?
Yeah, one, I recommend connecting with me on LinkedIn. I give AI tips on there all the time. I just want to help share what I know with folks. That's what I believe in. Option number 2, you can go to my website, chadmwooters, WOOTERS.com, or check out the company site, kairostalks.com, for blogs, more information, etc.
How do I spell Kairos?
Kairos, and then talks.
Got it. And then on LinkedIn, how do I spell your name again?
Chad, Chad, Wooters, Wooters, and I have an MBA behind the name. So that's how you'll find me.
So you're the only Chad Wooters with an MBA. I'm sure that you'll be able to be found on LinkedIn, huh?
Now, I can tell you there is another Chad Wooters who owns our name.
No way. Serious?
And if you find him, tell him to call me because I've emailed him. I've tried. I will rebuild his website for the sake of our good name for free because it is not pretty. So Chad M. Wooters is my website. Chad Wooters, the artist engineer dude, I'm looking for you.
So you mentioned, that's funny. So you mentioned websites. Do you do website development?
Oh God, please no. I will. I have. I realized helping a friend with a website the other day. She's starting a new interior design business. I have a lot of friends who are really good and really enjoy that work. I will help you find them.
Got it.
And if you're desperate or you have a simple website, like my website, if you go to mine, I'll help you do that for a pretty cheap price. But in general, I like to leave web design to the folks who love that work because it is a calling for sure.
Got it. So what's a typical engagement, if you will, with someone who's like you, who's a business automation expert or an AI expert? What's it like? Like, do you have them charge you per month, per day, per project? How does that work exactly? If I wanted to engage you as, let's say, I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah, it really depends. I like to get to know what your goals are with your business. In general, though, it's going to start off with a free call. I want to make sure to know who you are and that we're a good fit. I know a lot of folks who do this kind of thing who might be a better fit. So I'm going to get to know you, make sure that we're aligned. The second piece is based on that. Typically, we do a monthly arrangement for a minimum length of time, call it 3 months or 6 months, where we're implementing strategies. We're going to figure out what the end goal is, and we're going to make very strategic benchmarks and plans to get all the different pieces aligned. That could be operationally, it could be marketing, it could be getting your team trained and equipped to do that. I've got a pretty deep experience in business. It doesn't look like it, I know on camera. I look like I've got a baby face, but my first business I launched 15 years ago and only got shut down because California hates small businesses. So
totally.
Yeah. So it was running self-sufficiently with me doing 2 hours of work a week for 5 years before the AB5 law came out and the anti-Uber law, which Uber got exempted from. So with all that, though, that's what it looks like. We let's get together. Let's see if we're a good fit. And if we're a good fit, we'll make a plan. And that plan will include how much we talk, the goals that we're looking to accomplish, and the fees and timeline and all that kind of stuff.
I understand. I totally get it. So then what would not only you, just for any business automation kind of expert, what can, let's say, again, I hire you, I'm a real estate agent. How much would my business improve? 20%, 10%? I know it's a hard question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How much really can you help me to become more efficient, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, it depends heavily on the process and the value of that process to your company. One of the folks I've worked with, we took a process that previously took anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day, and it was a very, very time-heavy process. And using a variety of automation, using someone like me who's kind of a systems expert to come in and say, all right, what can we automate? What can we do differently? What can we stop doing? We were able to actually reduce the time, effort, and cost by 50%.
50 or 15?
50.
Nice, dude. I like that.
We were able to reduce the hard cost of platforms that we were using to do the previous system by, I want to say, it's actually much harder to quantify. It was a couple $100 a month. So whatever that comes out to as a grand scheme of percentages. And it created something that we really needed at that time, which is a scalable opportunity for business. We were able to take something that was capped. We were looking at hiring people, the volume was 100 entries of this particular product, and we needed to hire another person. And now we created an economies of scale where we didn't see the need to hire another person until we got to 500. And from there, we would automate even more and probably get up to 600. And so we reduce the cost, the efficiency, or increase the efficiency and do that. And in our business, in that business at the time, that was something, the revenue or the cost savings was probably close to $10,000 a year.
Yeah, there you go.
That was just scratching the surface of that's a small business unit at that business. It depends what you're looking for. If it's outreach, if it's customer engagement, what's the value of one client? If it's a $20,000 commission, well, then will our automation generate one more sale for you? Well,
Yeah.
then it's worth $20,000 that year and probably a lot more.
People have no clue. Yeah, I mean, AI can do pretty much anything. The only limit is what we put on it with our own brain, our own
Right.
creativity. So that being said, though, what's the most? I'm not going to say outlandish. What's the biggest thing that you think that AI can do to a business that you actually can deploy? You can actually initiate. That's a hard question, by the way.
Yeah,
No,
that's a
no,
big question.
that's an impossible question. If you don't want to answer it, I get it.
I'll shoot a stab at it, and I'll say I'll kind of reverse it. What is the biggest problem that you want to solve in your
Yeah,
business
there you go.
that
Nice.
takes too much time right now? I would bet a lot of money that we could fix that with AI, and there might be some intervention that's required. But we could. What if we reduced your time by 90%
Yeah.
to do that work? There's a lot that we can do. And AI today, I mean, if you've been on social media in the last year, in the news in the last year, the capabilities of AI today are exponentially greater than it was a year ago. This is going to keep going. And so whatever you think is the problem today, tomorrow there might be a solution for it. So to your point, it's an almost impossible question, but what is your problem? Let's figure out if we can solve it together. I'll be honest with you. If I don't know how to solve it, I'm not going to charge you to not fix your problem. We
Mm-hmm.
would figure out how to do that, and I'll tell you where to go find the information if I can't provide it myself.
Mm-hmm. So what are some things that you are reading to kind of keep abreast of the AI market that maybe some of our listeners and viewers should be, picking up and reading, going online, et cetera? What are some key sites that you think can add value to an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would find a couple of your AI influencers. They're going to have a lot of content on there. Now, I will warn you, some of them have these really cheap courses that are out there that are not super great, but they will help you learn how to do them. Other than that, I actually like to keep up with the companies themselves that are developing the AI. They're constantly giving you new ideas, new posts of what people are doing. So OpenAI is really good. You also have, wow, I'm blanking on my company names right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Google has one, AWS has one, a model large language model,
yeah.
Claude.
So
There's so many different
Claude,
ones.
that's what I was thinking. Claude, right there. The other one I would say is keep up with like Business Insider and a couple of your fringe science, your technology sector blogs. I would also look into IBM right now. They're doing some really amazing things with automation,
Mm-hmm.
new kind of virtual assistant AIs, things of that nature. Every month, I go to Google and I type in new AI technology, and
Mm-hmm.
I find these posts that are coming out that are just updated. I'm going to say one more thing though, two more things.
Please.
One, no AI tool is going to do everything for you. It's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
If someone tells you can do everything, they're probably trying to sell you something. The second
Mm-hmm.
thing is that your AI can also do way more than you think if you know how to ask it how to do the right thing.
Yep.
So it's kind of this weird complex where you got to figure out that balance. Go use it. Back to the beginning, like go actually do the thing, and you'll see just how practical and amazing it can really be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a good point. AI can do pretty much anything. Our limit is its limit is our brain, but at the same time, it's not always 100% accurate. I don't know how many
Mm-hmm.
times it's come back with I don't know, the analogy of your hair is blue even though my hair isn't blue. It's gray. Or brown. So meaning there's always inaccuracies. So you got to you still have to test it and check it, et cetera. But I think it's a good tool, good foundation. Like, frankly, I've written mass articles using it for years, using it as a kind of a baseline or a foundation for my articles, my two of my three books. I started with AI, and then I would build on top of it because I
Mm-hmm.
think you have to be creative. You have to double check the output, and I think with that being knowing that there's some mistakes, that it's good foundation, good jumping off point, good springboard. I think it makes a lot of sense to still have some people who are doing the creative work because they are augmenting AI. There's no doubt that that's kind of the way to go because you never know. You might get a
Right.
weird output from the AI model.
Yeah. Well, and to the same end, what you're sharing right now is we have AI is an opportunity to scale your voice. So one of the other big tips and something I can definitely help out with is building a custom GPT. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've heard much about that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Custom GPT is the opportunity to create your own AI that's trained in your voice or your specific purpose, your specific application, even with its own knowledge base. And that is an incredible tool. It helps make those AI responses go way further. But beyond that, how you use that, you know, that's going to really take your marketing to the next level. You can take a blog post and have AI propose 5 social media posts from that blog post. Now you're scaling content. Now, if you just use the copy paste of the AI generated content, you might be at risk for losing brand reputation by using lazy content. But if you do it well, if you do it right, if you train the AI and use your own blog, stuff like that is really where AI can take that marketer's view and really scale it.
Yep. I totally agree. So let's get ready to land this plane. So what's one thing we have not talked about that you think can add value as far as marketing, AI, business automation, again, to a solopreneur, let's say, you know, a real estate investor, real estate agent, et cetera? What's one big nugget, Chad, that you think can add value?
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest challenges for you as an entrepreneur, whether you're in real estate or technology or anything, is that you have more valuable things to spend your time doing. And so the biggest tip I can recommend to you is take stock of anything that you do that's repetitive or that's below your pay grade. And don't worry about the pride piece of it. You're a business owner. That's your time is inherently valuable because that's what you're there to do. So what can you do, get rid of that you're doing? And the missing piece in all this is AI is the ultimate tool at helping you delegate responsibilities to a real person. There is, imagine that you train a computer to do the same thing over and over and over again, and you hand that computer to someone else at a fraction of the dollar that you make an hour. Now we're talking about real delegation and real results that doesn't take your time having to fix other people's mistakes.
Yep. Delegation
is one of the most powerful dynamics in today's world.
100%. That's where, if you really think about it, because AI at its foundation is just kind of it kind of augments X, whatever X is. If you're doing a drawing, you know, you throw it a term and it could do a drawing nowadays, or you could do a movie. It just augments whatever the input is. And I think you're right. If you can kind of delegate as a result of that, you can multiply you as an individual a lot. Pretty soon, we're going to have one person, a solopreneur, making $1 billion on AI, meaning a solopreneur, no other employees, just because of AI and augmenting it with maybe a virtual assistant, et cetera. That's going to happen. I'm positive of that.
Yeah. Don't go scale on AI's voice. People are already doing that. Go scale your authentic voice. And if you can do that, the world's your oyster. Yep.
Nice, Chad. All right. So once again, how does someone get a hold of you if they're interested in learning about your marketing efforts, your business automation efforts, AI? Give us one last time to understand how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, go visit me at LinkedIn, Chad Wooters with an MBA at the end, or visit my website, chadmwooters.com.
Awesome. Once again, guys, this is Kenner French of Vast Voice. I'm with vastsolutionsgroup.com. We're talking with Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Chad, it's been a pleasure for everyone out there. It's been a pleasure. Love it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Awesome, Chad.